Hello and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean. Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year. I forgot that was a thing.
It is January 3rd?
Sure.
When this comes out, so Happy New Year to everybody. 2019.
Jesus.
We are in the future.
I'm so freaking old. I don't even want to talk about it.
I know. A year.
What?
It's not a year.
It's not a real year.
This is a year that we used to back in like in the 90s used to be like, man, it was going to be like a 2019 and stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be garbage.
Oh, wait, no. Sucks ass.
It's terrible. We saw Bumblebee.
We did see Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Bumblebee. I think it's just Transformers. No, just Bumblebee.
I think it's just called Bumblebee.
Yeah. The Transformers prequel of sorts.
Yeah. I mean, it does a lot of retconning of the other movies, but that's okay. It was actually probably the most enjoyable of all the movies.
Oh, yeah, by far. I mean, for once, the Transformers actually look like Transformers.
Yeah, you can tell what's going on screen. It's just not glop.
Yeah, they don't look... They haven't yet evolved into...
super fast, where you were like, what the hell just happened?
Super fast, super segmented, shiny glops.
Yeah.
They actually look like they're supposed to.
Yeah, sit down.
There's certain... and I kind of do like that. If you notice, I don't think Megatron was in this at all, was he?
Does he show up when they're on Cybertron?
I feel like if he did, I don't.
I know Starscream was there.
Well, Starscream was there, and then
what's the guy with the tape?
Shockwave.
Shockwave was there. That was cool because his tape transformed.
What was it? No, not Shockwave. Soundwave.
Soundwave.
God, I can't remember the cassette guy. I want to say Shockwave. Well, Shockwave is just like a gun. Because that guy was there too.
Oh, okay.
There's a dude that I used to have that he turned into, like, he was kind of like Megatron. He turned into a gun, but he turned into like this giant fucking phaser thing.
Right.
And, yeah. And the voices were actually like close. They were close as you get to the original.
Yeah, which was great. There were a couple things when I was just, and this is not a spoiler, because it's like the very first scene, and you're on Cybertron, and like, Bumblebee's zooming around looking like a Ferrari, but they've never been to Earth, and I'm like, why do you look like our car then? Like, why do you look like anything that we have? Why do you have cassette tape?
It was the 80s.
Yeah, I know, but you've never been to Earth. Why do you look that way? How are you supposed to be like, I'm in disguise, but you've literally never been to the planet? Why do you look this way?
I want to believe somebody from our thing just kind of landed on Cybertron and was like, oh, here's a bunch of our shit.
Yeah, they're like, hey, jets? And you're like, no.
Cars?
No. So that was a little bit weird. I do have to say my biggest complaint of the whole movie was there was no 80s bangs. This movie took place in 1987, and no one had huge hair, and I was kind of disappointed about that.
There was some...
Because everybody should have had huge hair. I remember 1987. I was a kid, but everybody had huge hair.
Yeah, no, I mean, the 80s had a certain kind of hair.
Oh, yeah.
Big hair for women.
Huge hair. Even dudes had, like, Kurt Russell even had that, like, feathered shit going on. And...
Yeah, feathered shit.
Yeah, feathered shit.
They had feathered shit.
Remember hair bands? Like, all the dudes had that hair.
There's something definitely missing with regard to the aesthetic of this movie.
But it was fun.
It was fun. There's a bunch of silly things in it. John Cena's in it.
John Cena is in it.
John Cena. I feel like this was supposed to be John Cena's Scorpion King kind of movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like his breakout role where it's like, I mean, like as far as an action hero goes.
Right.
Because he's got stuff in comedy where he's been done very well.
Right.
And he's very good at that. But, they wanted, I feel like they were like, well, we can make you, you could be like The Rock. You could be like Dwayne Johnson, Yeah. And Dwayne Johnson kind of, had his big thing in the Mummy movie.
Right.
As a Scorpion King. And I kind of felt that's where everything else took off from there. Like all the movies he's been in and just all those things.
I don't know if...
Well, Get Shorty, too, also did a lot for him, too. Or Be Cool, sorry.
Be Cool, that's right. He was really funny in that.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I think the problem, and I don't think it was John Cena's fault. his character's tone was weird.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Because at the beginning, he's like, haha, jokes. And you're like, oh, John Cena's gonna be haha, joke guy. And then he's like, I am serious military man, kill, kill, kill. And then at the end, and then you've got like one joke, and then he's back to serious military man.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, wait a second, what?
It's like the character's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, he really is all over the place.
Yeah, he was good. He was, he did good for what it was, but I mean, there's definitely some...
he's definitely got a square head.
He's square as fuck.
Yeah, and it's like, play a really good military man because I have the squarest of heads.
He's pretty much a square man.
Yeah, he's very square.
Yeah.
He has hair, which is kind of weird.
He has some good lines in this movie, too.
He does.
Like, there's this one line where, it's not even a line, it's just him, like, yelling at somebody, and he just starts saliva spraying all over the place.
Yeah, that's really gross. They literally catch him when he's spitting.
Like, that was the
all
thing.
over.
We're going to use that one. He's like,
all over the fucking camera, and I was just like, ew.
Yeah, and then...
like, best take. You think they asked him to do that?
It's like, John, make it more juicy.
Ew,
like,
gross.
And he saluted them, and he did it.
Yeah.
And then there's a point where they're driving to get fucking Bumblebee or whatever, and he's like, "There's a wall in my way.
There was a door in my way."
And he blows it up.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, but he did all right.
Yeah.
Overall the movie just stupid.
Fun.
You know?
It was. I mean, it's not like it's just a good popcorn movie.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, exactly. Good popcorn
You're
movie.
like, all right, that was enjoyable.
I've had two of those. We've had two of those.
Yeah, Aquaman was too.
Aquaman kind of right up there too. So strong finish to the end of the year.
Yeah,
movies that we've seen,
which is good because God knows we've seen some garbage.
Yeah,
we had to sit through Venom.
Oh, we did watch Venom for our
Venom.
We hate movies watch for the week.
They're going to talk about it, or they've already talked about it. That episode should have dropped on Tuesday.
Yeah, if you can check that out. But if you've seen that movie, I mean, here's the thing.
I didn't know Eminem was on the soundtrack. Like, the song is just Venom!
Yeah.
Venom! That's how he says it. He's just Venom!
He's like, yo, don't fuck with me. Venom, Venom, Venom. Venom, Venom.
I did not like Venom because I found it boring.
That's the problem. It was boring.
That was my problem with it. It was boring.
You can be bad, but don't be boring.
That was the thing. I was like, how is this movie boring? I'm just watching, like... I mean, Tom Hardy's sitting in a lobster tank, for fuck's sake, and I'm bored.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
there was a lot of, like, nothing going on for very long stretches of time. Also, another bad wig, Michelle Williams. What is going on with that?
Oh, she was wearing... I thought it was just her blonde hair.
I always thought her hair was shorter, but if that's her real hair, they should fire that stylist.
Yeah.
Because it was like, literally, it was like a towel.
Also, what the hell is Michelle Williams doing in Venom?
Yeah, they're just like, it was just like, hey, just like sit this, like if you go to the gym, you know, like when basketball players.
Oh,
and
they
like,
put the towel over
and
her
they
head?
put the that's exactly what it was. And she was just like, I'm just waiting to go back on the court. She's just like, I can't wait to take this off and go back on the court. That's literally what
Now entering the game, number 8.
Michelle Williams, and she takes the towel off.
The Chicago Bulls. Michelle Williams.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's literally, it moved as much as that.
Yeah, no, there was that, and then there's just, I think Venom's a cool character.
Yeah.
I think he's a very cool concept, and he looks awesome. Growing up in the 90s and being around for a lot of, like, when, like, you would read, like, a Wizard magazine, and it was like, Venom, Venom, Venom. I mean, literally. It was
yeah.
like,
Oh my God. It was,
Venom.
yeah.
Like, whoa,
People
whoa.
were like losing their shit over Venom.
Yeah, and it was something where I was just like, fine, fuck you. I don't care. I mean, I've never really had I think I've talked about before. It's like I've never really had like a hard on for Spider-Man.
No, me either.
I
like the concept of Venom.
Yeah, the concept of Venom, or just Spider-Man related things. Although Maximum Carnage, the video game, is one of my favorite games of all time, and I kind of feel nostalgic for maybe just reading that series after watching that movie. Mm-hmm. Maximum Venom, or Maximum Carnage, or whatever.
Maximum Venom.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It was boring. It was just
boring. There's a lot of like sciencing.
Oh, there's a lot of science.
But like boring sciencing.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's like a thing at the end. Because apparently this movie made like a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a sequel.
I don't know if it made a shit ton over here. It might have been like the Transformers where they made a shit ton in China and stuff.
True. Well, they'll still make it.
Yeah, so there's definitely going to be a sequel, but I don't really know if there should be.
Well, they teased something. I mean, they teased, they teased some pretty high level shit.
They do.
Too, which, you should...
Venom.
Yeah, if you want to check that out. But there's some... Yeah, there's
just sit.
There's potential there. Hopefully it'll be better. I kind of wish it was more involved with
being bitten. Stop it.
No.
Sorry.
Bit him.
Cat venom.
I kind of wish that it was involved with just I wish all the Marvel stuff was just together.
Sit down.
Instead of having all these splinter.
That's right, because it's over. Isn't it over at Fox?
Because this is over at Fox, and then
there's the main stuff, and there's
Netflix stuff.
Netflix stuff, and then there's the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I don't even know if it's still a thing.
That's a good question. I feel like they're on I think they're on their last season.
Oh, I have no idea. I tapped out pretty early. Will you just sit? I'm having cat problems.
I noticed.
Okay, sorry.
But
sit down.
But it was silly.
Yeah, it was silly.
There's some stuff, and I wonder if this is Stan Lee's last ever cameo. Because this movie came out in October. He passed away at the end of October, I think. Or was it November?
I thought this came out in June.
No, this came out in October.
It did?
Oh, yeah.
It's already out?
Oh, yeah. Well, they probably were like, we gotta get this out for,
Christmas.
Fathers and
maybe it is.
Sons and shit.
Where he's walking down the street.
Yeah. I feel like that was it. That was it.
Did Venom come out first, or did Teen Titans come out first?
Teen Titans came out in June or summer, I think.
Yeah, then I guess Venom is it, because we could have said it was Teen Titans Goes to the Movies. Because he does No, I think after Infinity.
You know what? Because I don't know if he has a proper cameo in Spider-Verse. I know that they do pay tribute to him.
Sure.
In some way, but I don't know if he has a proper cameo. So if that is the case, then that would be the last cameo for him. If he has a proper cameo instead of just being hey, we pay tribute. I don't know if that counts as a cameo. But. So, yeah, but Venom, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't pay money to see it.
No, I'm glad. And we only rented it. I'm glad we just rented it. I'm glad we didn't pay 2 full price tickets.
Hey, you know what? I was happy with my purchase to go to see Aquaman. And,
Aquaman was fun.
Transformers.
Yeah, no, that was fun too.
I was very pleased with that. They're making some shit in the movies, though. There
were some previews before. I mean, and I realized they were trying to play to the general children family audience. But what was that dog movie?
The Dog's Way Home.
No, thank you. No. Fucking keep it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. I don't even want to know it exists.
I don't want to.
They're like, "Hi, I'm a dog, and I'm lost." And I'm like, "No," and I'm crying. And I'm like, "Nope, will not watch this movie. You garbage movie."
Yeah, don't be like, it's this is about a book about a dog. Nope. It's no, I get it.
Nope, don't need to see it.
I'm sad that dogs do get lost, as do pets.
Yeah, and it makes me really upset, and I don't want to see a movie about it.
I don't want a movie. I don't want 2 hours of that just being drilled into my head.
Yeah.
Of their
being I gotta find my owner, and I'm like, yeah, because eventually that dog will die, and then I'm even sadder.
Yeah, it's like fucking Marley and Me.
Yeah, nope, absolutely not. Or whatever that one was. It was A Dog's Purpose or whatever.
This is the sequel.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Apparently, there's a series of books about dogs being amazing, and it's well, hey, let's make.
I'm sure they're. Oh my god, so great. I love dogs too, but there's no fucking way I'm watching that movie.
Yeah, okay.
Nope.
Certainly hope everybody had a great New Year's, and you guys are having a good start to the year. So let's take our break, and we'll come back. We'll talk about our book for this week.
To confront the ultimate killers, I must construct the ultimate alias.
Hey, who is that lady? I think she could fly.
To combat the murderers who destroy my family, crush my own life on their way to consuming everything, I must become a greater, more fearsome destroyer.
Hey man, somebody killed this lady.
To track down the animals who prey on the innocent, I must stalk them first. I am no longer their quarry. I am the Huntress.
New Huntress podcast coming to you in 2019. Visit thehuntress89.blogspot.com for new episodes. Go to the Facebook page at Huntress Podcast. Go to Twitter, The Huntress Podcast, and you can always find episodes of The Huntress Podcast at rightonnetwork.com, and go to Apple iTunes, where this podcast is a joint venture with the Helena Bertinelli Podcast and the Cassandra Cain Batgirl Podcast. So go to Apple Podcasts, the Batgirl /Huntress Podcast.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Speedball, The Masked Marvel.
Okay.
Number 2.
I do remember buying this now, by the way, now that you were mentioning.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, we should do Speedball. And you're like, what?
I was
Drugs?
like, yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, do Speedball? I don't want to do a Speedball.
I'm like, whoa, you were going way harder than I ever expected.
Hey, what are we doing for this week? Drugs.
Speedball, what?
Speedball, The Masked Marvel, number 2 from October 1988. And this is the return of Steve Ditko to the show.
I would just like to point out, this does not say Stan Lee Presents.
It doesn't? It says right here.
I know, but not on, like, the cover.
Doesn't always say on the cover.
Most of the time, sometimes it'll say, like, up here. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Some of the older ones, for sure.
Well, maybe the older one, yeah, but this is like late 80s, so.
Boo. I was just thinking maybe Stan Lee didn't take credit for this one.
He's on board with it. See right here.
Oh, yes.
So Speedball, The Masked Marvel. So I have a question, because you did look up some of this.
I did.
And I'm trying to think here.
Would you like the definition of a speedball?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, I get Speedball and 8-Ball confused.
Okay, I don't know anything about drugs. So I think an 8-ball is like when you're going to buy cocaine. It's like how much cocaine you're buying from somebody.
No, it's like a lot of coke.
Right, but you're like, I'm going to get an 8-ball. It's a lot of cocaine.
Right.
It's a certain measurement. I don't know what that measurement is.
The reason why I know this is because Dennis Leary in No Cure for Cancer is like, he's like, hey, you ever do like a speedball or 8-Ball? You ever get like a lot of coke, and then you're just like, whatever.
Yeah. So but Speedball, and I know this because I watch Intervention.
Oh.
So Speedball, and according to Wikipedia, it is a mixture of cocaine and heroin or morphine, and you take it intravenously, or you can snort it. But usually people take it, they inject it.
Why can't you just take these drugs like a fucking Twinkie or something?
I don't think it's the same. It takes too long. So, and Speedball's been around for a while.
We're talking about the drugs.
Yeah. So, there is actually on Wikipedia a heading that says notable deaths attributed to Speedball use.
Ooh, man.
And a list.
These are the lists I kind of live for, to be honest.
John Belushi.
I kind of, if we're doing Family Feud, and it was
this was the Family Feud.
They named the top 5. How many are on that list?
Oh my God, there's at least 20.
Okay, so name the top 5 people who died from a speedball. Mm-hmm. John Belushi would have been on the list. I would have taken the lead.
John Belushi. I don't know who this guy is.
What's his name? Ken
Camentini. Apparently, he was a baseball player. He died. Chris Farley. Except instead of heroin, it was morphine. But it was also I don't know who Zach Foley is, but he died.
Zach Foley. Oh no, Mick Foley's brother.
Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, Mitch Hedberg died from a speedball?
That's what it says, Mitch Hedberg.
I didn't know that. I thought he just did like straight heroin. I didn't know
apparently it was a speedball.
I didn't know he was.
According to Wikipedia, so grain of salt that. Grain of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Really?
It says cocaine, heroin, benzodiazepines, and amphetamines. Oh. So he was doing it all.
It's like the gruel of drugs.
Yeah, River Phoenix. And there's a bunch of other people I don't know, like Eric Show, who apparently was a baseball player.
Give me more names. I'll know them.
Oh, okay.
Baseball players.
A lot of them. Pete Farndon. He was a member of the Pretenders.
Oh, okay.
He died. Trevor Goddard, who was an English actor. He played Kano in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah. You gotta be. You gotta be fucking wired up to be Kano.
Sebastian Horsley, who's just some like artist from London. Chris Kelly.
Chris Kelly?
Yeah, who was... Wait, is that guy really dead? That guy can't be dead from Criss Cross?
From the Criss Cross?
That's what it says right here.
Wait, was he Criss or Cross?
I don't know which one he was. Hold on.
Mac Daddy or Daddy Mac?
He was Mac Daddy.
Oh, shit.
Apparently he's dead? Wait, no, that can't be right.
This is Wikipedia.
Some guy from the Grateful Dead, some DJ. I mean, like a bunch of people I don't know.
Okay, so like a lot of performers.
Yeah. Like, and then it's like other notable users.
Ooh.
There's also this heading.
Oh, so they're not dead yet.
Some that are not. No. Cream bassist Jack Bruce.
Okay.
Nikki Sixx.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Anthony Kiedis, Kurt Cobain, who is dead but did not die of a speedball, obviously. David Crosby, Jerry Garcia, Miles Davis, Ryan Adams, Slash, Craig Ferguson, Dave Gahan, our buddy Dave Gahan, Stephen...
Aquaman soundtrack contributor, Dave Gahan.
Yeah, and Stephen Adler, who had a stroke after taking a speedball, leaving him with a permanent speech impediment.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, he got fucked up.
But apparently, yes, in 2013, Chris Kelly of Criss Cross died. I didn't realize he died.
You know, that's something where it's like you would hear about that and you'd be like,
no.
You'd be like, oh shit, that's fucked up.
How old was he? Not old, right? I was 34.
I was gonna say, he probably couldn't have been like,
yeah, he was
younger than us.
Not by much, though.
But like for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Criss Cross was like...
when we were kids.
Yeah, but like teenagers.
Yeah, like but they were about our age when they came out.
You know what's actually a scary music video is I Missed the Bus by Criss Cross.
I've never seen that video.
Because there's like a weird dude with a Mr. Boogedy face doing shit in it.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, if you saw
I just remember the Jump video, like everybody else.
Yeah, I know, but then I Missed the Bus. That was kind of like my thriller for the 90s. Actually, no, wait, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Unforgiven was my thriller for the 90s.
Okay.
Metallica's Unforgiven.
Yeah, okay.
But I Missed the Bus was kind of like...
Why was Unforgiven your thriller of the 90s?
Because that old dude's shaking, you can't see his face. That kind of freaked me out. I'd have to walk out of the room.
That scared you more than Enter Sandman?
Yes.
When that semi-truck fucking runs over that bed? That's pretty great, though.
I know, but that's kind of cool.
No, it's great.
I liked it.
Oh, by the way, speaking of cool things, there is a really great robot death in Bumblebee. Like, so much so that it happened and I went, neat. In the middle of the theater.
Yeah, it's like actual classy... no,
it was just awesome. It wasn't classy, it was just awesome. I was like...
No, I know, but classy in terms of instead of just being, like, ripped apart with glop.
Yeah, no, this was cool. This was, like, neat.
Yeah, they did
that one
good.
Was good. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Did Bumblebee use a speedball?
It does not say Bumblebee in here, but our buddy Dave Gahan can tell you all about it. So Speedball...
Oh yeah, we're talking
the comic.
I forgot we were chance to talk about a comic.
Because I bought this because it's called Speedball, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
So, as somebody who's read, been familiar with more Marvel comics than Jen has, I've known of Speedball for quite some time.
How? Who knows about Speedball?
Because he was in the New Warriors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he joins the New Warriors at some point, and basically he
gets a better name.
Well, what happens is, so he's in the New Warriors.
I see this. I'm looking on the
Marvel Wiki.
Yeah.
He's in the New Warriors, basically, and then, then Civil War happens, and the reason why the catalyst for Civil War is the New Warriors taking on Nitro, the villain Nitro, who gave, what's his face, Captain Marvel cancer. And I have that issue. Not of the Captain Marvel getting cancer. I have that. Speedball. So they have like a reality show where they're like having people follow them to film them while they're fighting superheroes, and they go to take on this villain Nitro and these other guys. And Nitro's gimmick is that he just explodes constantly, and basically like he explodes and kills like 612 people.
And I see this, and he blames himself because it says Baldwin ordered, his name's Robert Baldwin. Baldwin ordered a new suit of armor that featured 612 internal spikes that caused him constant pain, symbolic of the 612 deaths that he felt responsible for. 60 of these spikes actually broke his skin. These 60 spikes are symbolic of the 60 children that died in Nitro's explosion.
Oh, they cooked children.
That's like some Catholic shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when the monks like fucking whip themselves, that is like some hair shirt shit.
Oh yeah. And then and eventually he kind of gave up being penance, but he still blames himself, so he just kind of cuts himself now.
Oh.
There's some panels of that on the Marvel Wiki of him just being like, "Hey, hang on for a minute, I'll be a minute," and he's like,
Did he go see anybody for that? Because that's not good.
Well, he's trying to figure out, but I mean,
self-harming is not good.
No, it's not, but saying he's taking it because of the pain that he feels of this.
Oh, I get that, but maybe he, instead of cutting himself,
He should seek therapy.
He should probably see some therapists.
Maybe he has. I don't know. I mean, it's gotta be. Maybe it's different for a superhero. I don't know. I mean, Doc Samson would be glad to see him. But it's pretty wild. Where he went from, because he basically went from being like this kind of happy-go-lucky, kinetic energy-based superhero to basically encasing himself in a fucking suit of armor with spikes on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a real dark turn for him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because basically all these panels, basically, he looks like a Stretch Armstrong getting just thrown around.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not stretchy or anything, but like when you throw a Stretch Armstrong and it's just like,
yeah,
that's what he looks like.
You know what's right? Yeah, because their arms kind of stay out.
And like they're just kind of being thrown, and there's no sort of like, there's no bones to keep them together. You just
you fling it. Fling a Stretch Armstrong.
Go throw a Stretch Armstrong. You'll know what the Speedball looks like.
Well, just if you don't have a Stretch Armstrong, find a bendy figure.
Find a Raggedy Ann doll. Anything that doesn't have bones.
Ooh.
Just throw it. Because it'll just be like, and that's what it looks like as he flies through the air.
So, Speedball, the Masked Marvel, is on the cover here. Speedball is bounding around, and it says, stuck with the sticker.
He also gets this, like, weird, like, rainbow ball thing around him to, like, indicate that he is bouncing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's also of an unknown origin. Apparently also, to his suit, which the one...
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about this, because this is weird.
Apparently this is kind of like a creeper thing, where
it just appears.
Well, it appears because it's molecularly bonded to him in some way.
Okay.
So this is something like kind of like a takeoff of the suit he was wearing when he got zapped.
Oh.
Stuff, and that's kind of how the creeper is.
But the kind of like pseudo cheetah print glove.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking hideous.
I mean, obviously they're like trying to tone it down, but it really does kind of look cheetah-y.
He's kind of doing a shout out here to the colors of the 1980s Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
But yeah, so here he is. He's bounding around, and it says, stuck with the sticker and grappling with the graffiti gorillas.
Yeah, which, no. I'm sorry, it's so dumb. Anyway.
So you see him bounding, or he's bounding around a room, and he's facing off against, presumably who this person is.
The sticker.
The yellow goo man is the sticker. For some reason, too, and I just want to point this out because it's on the cover.
Yeah.
They do everything they can to obscure this guy's face.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, he doesn't... Like it literally does not matter.
It's not like it turns out to be like,
like a villain or somebody who comes... We'll talk about it, but this guy, whatever. Okay,
so anyway. It's a celebrity. It's not like it's,
Yeah, it's a celebrity. It's Bruce Willis. Oh my God.
Bruce. I was just triggered with a memory.
Oh God, about Bruce Willis?
Actually, yes. Do you remember the episode of Roseanne where it's like at the end of the credits... And, like, Dan and Roseanne are in bed, and they're talking or whatever. And for some reason, like, Bruce Willis shows up in bed, too.
No.
And he kind of just, as one of those things, as, like, a rib on the audience. He's like, oh, it's Bruce Willis. Oh, here, and, Roseanne's laughing and
stuff. Was it a dream?
No, it was, like, a thing at the end of, like, this, like, as they're showing the credits over, like a scene over the credits. And, like, Bruce Willis just shows up. I remember this distinctly.
Are you sure it happened?
Yes, I am sure it happened.
Okay, I'm just going to ask.
Oh, you can look it up? Go ahead. Yeah, look it up. Bruce Willis, Roseanne.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing that pops up here. Cameo.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, yeah, okay. Yeah. See, I wasn't.
I don't, but why?
I don't know, because he was, maybe is the 80s, late 80s, she was a comedian, he was a hot actor. You're all friends, they hanging out probably at a comedy store.
Okay.
Having fucking... doing ribs on each other and shit. That was the 90s, man. Late 80s, 90s.
Oh, I see. Bruce Willis appears in the end tag. He mentions that he was working on his show at the time, meaning Moonlighting.
How long did Moonlighting go on for?
I remember my parents loved Moonlighting. Like, were obsessed with Moonlighting until they, got together. Moonlighting ran from 1985 to 1989.
Okay, so it was around that time. Okay, so then that made sense.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I always imagined that once, Die Hard was a thing, Bruce Willis didn't do TV anymore.
Yeah, apparently this was a thing for a while. I remember my parents were, obsessed with it.
I never watched Moonlighting.
No, I never did either, but I remember my parents were like, oh my God, we have to watch Moonlighting.
That's so strange.
Is that weird?
Because your parent, because especially your mom, don't like watching things.
My mom likes watching things, but she's really weird about it. So, like, if my mom watches a movie, she'll never watch that movie again.
Okay, I bet it happens.
But any movie. It does not.
Done.
One and done. So, like, DVDs, so Blu-ray, nothing. It serves no purpose for her whatsoever. Because I'm like, I'm like, you like this movie? She's like, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but don't you want to watch? No, I've seen it. And I'm like, okay. But she'll watch the same HGTV, like, decorating show 18 times. Same episode. I don't get it. It's just very weird. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So getting to the book. So here's the quick pitch. While working part-time after school at the Hammond Laboratories, Robbie Baldwin was accidentally exposed to energy from another dimension. Now, whenever Rob hits anything too hard, that energy erupts from him from within his body, transforming him into a bizarre rebounding figure we call Speedball. So, the story's called Stuck on You, and basically we get this glop guy.
Yeah, there's these people in a lab, and they're like looking for a patent to something.
Yeah. So this glop monster.
It's a glop monster and a guy with a very, very, very severe widow's peak.
Oh, he's devil lock.
It's a devil lock, basically.
That is
It's
straight up devil lock.
I'm like, I don't even know why it's there. It's really terrible. They're looking for this patent that the doctor might have left.
And then Doc Severinsen walks in.
Yeah, and he's like, what are you guys looking for? And he's like, give us the patent. I don't know what the patent's for.
I think it's for whatever this magnetic goo.
Sure.
That this patent, because we're trying to look it up. But for some reason, the goo man apparently already has the goo gimmick.
Yeah, but I guess he wants like the formula for it.
I like that he's like,
whatever it is.
He's like, I'm going to do this legally.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to get it, whatever. And so the goo guy hits the doctor, and he whatever.
Well, no, Doc Severinsen.
Well, yeah, he walks in. He's like, "You're not going to get whatever." He has a gun in his hand.
Yeah, I know. I like.
He's like, "You're not." He's like, "Fuck you, man! You're not getting my shit."
I like doctors at the ready with guns.
Yeah, and that's when the goo man just like smacks him with some goo.
He does. And apparently, this kills him.
It's just gack.
Well, he throws gack at his back.
It kind of breaks him, right? He really does look like he's doing a Bane, like breaking Batman.
He kind of. Well, this guy's cutting a promo on him as this guy's like, "Where's the paper?" He's like, "Fuck you! I'll fucking kill me." And so then we cut to the lab, and Robbie
is chasing the cat Niles.
Is it Niles? It's spelled weird though, but is it Niles?
I think it's supposed to be Niles. Neil, I think it's Niles.
Let's call it Niles. So he's trying to chase this cat because apparently the cat. They believe so. They don't know.
Well, at first they just want. He wants him to get the cat. So he's chasing the cat around, and then he hears like 3 lab dudes talking about the reason that they want him to get this cat, because they just told him go get the cat.
Yeah.
So he overhears the reason that they want him is because the cat was also zapped with whatever energy Robbie was zapped with.
Well, they don't know that he was zapped.
That's the thing. They don't know he was zapped with it, but the cat was. So they're like, man, could you only imagine what would happen if it was a person? And Robbie's like, oh man, I got to get that cat because maybe I can figure out how to make myself normal.
Well, I do like these guys. Well, first of all, Steve Ditko's in his glory of drawing like symmetrical, bugged out eyes.
Oh, I was going to say that guy's just like,
well, I mean, all these guys. I mean, there's a lot of these shots. Like they all look like fucking. Yeah. They're gasping for air on Mars.
There's a lot of it. There's also this. Robbie ends up with a lot of humongous eyes.
Yeah.
Like in many panels, his eyes are like basically like that Battle Angel chick.
So he. Maybe this is the black. This is in the Black Hole Sun universe. Finally,
because everybody's eyes are all huge.
We've got a thread. But I do like how they're so like freaked out. It's just like, oh my god, this cat. This cat must be fucking crazy and shit. We got to find this cat. I mean, they're freaking out over this cat.
Yeah.
Let alone, they don't know that Bobby's
been zapped.
So they're basically like, so now Devil Lock and Goo Boy, Goo Man.
That's way better than the graffiti bandits or whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah, that's way more interesting.
Definitely. They're like, somebody calls the doctor's office, and the Devil Lock is like, hey, we're sending some files for this magno fluid, and this guy's like, oh sweet, well.
Cool.
I need
the doctor will be here.
I need the papers.
Who they just killed.
Because that Goo Man needs those papers.
Yeah.
So they send Robbie, and Robbie's like, all right, hey, Devilock, here's these papers. He's like, he's like, hey, I have to give these to the doctor.
Yeah, he's like, I have to actually put these in the doctor's hand. He's like, oh, okay. He's in the basement. And so, like, Robbie goes to, like, take him down the stairs, and Devilock shoves him, and he, like, lands right on his head. And he's like, he's going to break his neck. It'll look like he fell, and I'll steal those papers. But he turns into Speedball and just starts bouncing all over the fucking place.
You know, to shove somebody down the stairs.
Yeah.
Isn't that easy?
I don't know. Are you planning something?
No. I'm just trying to figure
Should I be worried?
We don't have very high stations.
I have fallen down these stairs before. I'm not worried about it, but yeah.
So, but no, he shoves him down. And...
I feel like in TV and movies, people die way more easily from falling down the stairs than in real life.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Because I feel like it's just like a regular flight of stairs.
So, Speedball...
Like Death Becomes Her. But those are big stairs.
I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen that?
I think I should see it.
You should absolutely see it. It's so campy. It is insane. I love it so much.
Speaking of Bruce Willis.
Yeah, he's in that movie too. Yes, he is in that movie. Man, that's such a great movie, and it's so fucking campy. I feel like high camp. Like, I can't even describe it. It's so good.
I feel like that's a movie that I would really enjoy, but I've never got around to seeing. So.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I would recommend it.
Maybe one day we'll do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Speedball's like, well, shit, now I'm in my suit and I gotta get out, figure out what the fuck's happening.
Yeah, because his suit just, like, appears. I don't know where his regular clothes go. I don't know.
They go into the same dimension as like the Creeper.
Oh, is there a dimension?
Yeah, they go into like a negative, like, molecule dimension, so when it comes, it's back and forth, I guess.
It just makes more sense if they're, like, absorbed.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's got his regular clothes back. He has to be naked all the time, right?
Well, it just they get absorbed into his body, and then when he's done, gross. So he's Stretch Armstrong's all over the place.
Yeah, he basically just flails around until he finally...
so much flailing. Well, it's like me on a dance floor. It's just like all over. It's like Elaine dancing. That's what this is.
Is that you goth dancing?
No, I'm better at goth. That's just me attempting to have some sort of coordination.
Nah.
This is me attempting sports.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks like right.
Me running.
So he finds this doctor dead, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go Stretch Armstrong back home and figure out where the hell I'm going, and figure out what the hell's going on. He follows the van, and then he follows it to the old button factory. This takes place in, like, a Connecticut suburb, by the way. Yeah,
it's basically the same universe that Gotham exists in, because there's an old whatever factory whenever you need it.
Yes, the old abandoned factories.
Always.
They exist. So he goes and he catches up with Goo Man, the Devilock, and Goo Man. And the Devilock is like...
pumping Goo Man full of goo. Because he's got this suit on that, like, controls this magnetic goo stuff.
Yeah, and it basically, like, shoots out when he wants it to.
He really looks gross.
It is. It looks stupid. He looks stupid when he doesn't have the goo. He looks stupid when he has the goo.
Yeah, he kind of looks like the Toxic Avenger, but, like, grosser. Like, if the Toxic Avenger wore sunglasses... Because, like, right there...
To me, he's kind of... Yeah, no, I get that. To me, he looks like Shocker... Marvel's Spider-Man villain Shocker.
Yeah.
But like, cause like it has like these, well, or even say Spider-Man, it's like, cause he got these, like, this.
You know in RoboCop where that guy gets doused at the very end?
Oh,
he looks like that guy.
Yeah, but in his full goo form, he looks basically like Emil.
Yeah.
Getting fucking covered in shit. Yeah. So so Devilock is like, man, I feel bad. I should have like killed that kid harder. And he's like,
I'm sad I didn't murder him
he's
more.
Worried. He's like, well, if that kid lived and he fucking rats on me.
You'd think you'd check. If you shove someone down the stairs to kill them, you'd think you'd go check to make sure they're dead. But
well, Goo Man...
They never follow through, these villains.
The Goo Man, in the matter of like 4 panels, we get this... It's like... We get Devilock having remorse, and then Goo Man being like...
remorse for not killing that kid harder.
Not killing the kid harder.
Not because he killed the kid. Not because he didn't kill him better.
He's like, oh, I should have fucking like...
He's like, oh man, you know, it's like...
I should have pile driven him down the stairs.
You know how when like somebody insults you and you walk away and like 10 minutes later you think of the perfect comeback? Oh. That's how I feel about this murder.
Fucking jerk story.
Exactly. That's how I feel about this murder. Man, I killed that kid, but then now I'm thinking of all the ways I could have killed him better.
I could have like... fucking slit his throat with the papers and stuff.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool. Like so many poetic justice things.
Yeah.
Like I could have got a gimmick going.
A gimmick going?
Well, yeah, I mean, because then you'll be the guy who kills kids with paper or whatever.
Oh man. That sounds like an 80s movie.
The guy who kills kids with paper?
Yeah.
That's a really terrible title. There you go.
The American title is
Paper Dolls.
Yeah, or fucking
And
paper cutter.
And you know what it really...
Paper cuts!
Paper cuts.
Paper cuts!
Actually, I was just thinking that the way to actually kill a whole bunch of people with paper is just to, like, dump, like, boxes of paper on them.
Well, yeah, that would obviously, but I'm talking like he has to perforate skin.
Oh, man, that would take a really long time. He's like, then I could dunk him in lemon juice.
Oh, man, I'm glad I keep this little lemon juice thing around all the time.
Just squirting people with it. He's just that's what his
I got salt packets in my pocket.
He would have like a utility belt like Batman. He'd have all those little like from the store, those like plastic lemons. So he'd be like open it and squirt.
Oh man, I like that guy. I like the. Oh yeah, because because he was it'd be like in the 90s. Everybody had grenades on them.
Yeah, this guy's lemons. Juice. He's got lemon juice.
Lemon juice containers, like real lemons. That's too much work.
Yeah, no, it doesn't get that good squirt.
Yeah, you need
I mean, you could get a super soaker.
You're really putting this together quite well. I like your.
Did you enjoy my horrible?
I like your innovation.
I'm really surprised because honestly, if this was the 90s, somebody would have given me a comic book for that. They'd have been like, "Yeah, whatever. We make the dumbest heroes. Come on over.
We make the dumbest heroes." DC Comics, we make the dumbest heroes.
That was everybody in the 90s, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you would have been.
I was like, well, he's got a belt, and they're like, "You're in. Come on in."
You could have been at cons, fucking signing a dumb
lemons.
Hero. The lemons.
People would bring those fucking lemons, and I'd have to sign them with a Sharpie. Be like, I went to Ralph's and picked this up.
Yeah, they're all out of lemons. I had to get a lime.
Do you sign limes? Yeah, I sign limes too. It's cool.
Tired of signing fucking limes. If you got a lime, go away.
I'd probably have to have like a basket of them. I'm like, oh, if you didn't bring one, you can buy one for $1 and I'll sign it for you.
Jen sitting next to Lou Ferrigno.
He's eating Cliff Bars. I'm signing lemons.
What a convention. That's great. Jen, Lou Ferrigno, and Virgil.
Just all of us sadly sitting there with our gimmicks.
Oh, yeah. Gimmick Alley.
I would want a sign that says Gimmick Alley.
I think if I ran a convention, it would definitely be Gimmick Alley.
Yes.
And that's where Lou Ferrigno would sit.
Yeah. With Virgil.
With Virgil and some guy from the Fast Five movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's ever see that? There's that one guy who's like a Hispanic guy who like he's appeared in like I think as like a featured
extra
player, yeah, or something. He would sign shit at like Frankensons.
Was he like a driver or something?
I don't know if he was a driver. I don't know because I don't know what he did. I'm assuming he was a driver or just like a featured like guy that was like.
But he's not like part of the team.
No, he wasn't. He was like way down the list. Like he
was like if everybody else had plans, maybe Vin Diesel would call him.
If everybody else was busy, so if The Rock was busy, if Paul Walker's dead,
well, I can't call him.
Michelle Rodriguez, I fuck knows where she is.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
Fucking trying to think. Now I'm starting to think of like people from like Triple X. Like
oh yeah, it's all the same thing. He's the same character.
Yeah. But this guy was there. He would. I don't know his name, but I just know I would pass by.
I can't wait for Vin Diesel's version of the Majestic.
Wait, is that a thing?
Do you remember the Majestic for Jim Carrey?
No, I remember that.
Yeah, I just said I can't wait for Vin Diesel's version of that, where he's like, I'm going to try to be serious.
He's done serious movies.
No, he hasn't. What has he done?
Boiler Room?
That was one of his first movies. It doesn't count.
He did that Street Sharks commercial.
He was in one of those like kid movies, kind of like The Rock.
The Pacifier.
Yeah, The Rock did the one where he was like the Tooth Fairy or whatever.
There's also a movie called Find Me Guilty. Do you know about this movie?
No.
Where it's a Sidney Lumet movie, and he's wearing a wig.
No.
Oh yeah, you should look it up.
Just look up Vin Diesel wig.
Yeah, no, actually, finally, look up screenshot for.
Is it going to be bad?
I mean, if you've never seen it, it's kind of like John Cena hair now. Yeah. So, anyways, but
Oh no!
I've never seen this movie, but I know that it exists. So.
GQ, who wrote this? A very brief history of Vin Diesel having hair on screen.
Well, he's kind of had short-ish hair.
Well, apparently in Chronicles of Riddick, he had a beard. Oh, here is this. He was in it with the
Oh, Peter Dinklage?
Yes.
With the fucking
mustache.
With the fucking Tony Stark mustache?
Yes, and a rug. That also looks like a rug.
That's a wig. That's a wig movie. I like it. So.
All right.
So. This could be our offshoot podcast. Vin Diesel has hair.
So there are like 3 movies we could talk about.
Oh, yeah, it'd be a miniseries.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, this goo monster, goo boy, whatever, sticker.
Yeah.
It's the sticker. Fuck this.
I'm sorry. That's dumb. It's just, he's just Gak.
Yeah. Gak is like, so he kills Devil Lock.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, yeah, next time murder better.
Sometimes because at first he's like, murder better, and then like Speedball's kind of like walking around and he just finds this dude hanging.
Yeah, and it's only like one panel. I don't know. So he like suffocated him with this goo, and then Speedball's like, I'm gonna fight you. They start fighting.
He does a Batman here and throws a safe at him, like with minimal effort.
Yeah, with one arm.
Which
sure,
kind of funny. But and so then basically
lot of flailing.
He's flailing and he's trying to bounce, and so this goo boy is like, I need to find out why he's so bouncy. I need to figure this out because I am into science.
Yeah, I like bouncy.
Yeah.
He's like, why is this guy stretched Armstrong all over this place? So he like grabs him and he gets stuck.
Yeah, he's stuck and
he's like, haha.
Well, he gets stuck by putting his hands on Goo Boy's face.
Yeah, so he grabs him already and then he puts his hands on his face.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I get it. It's a helmet. He's like, so I'm going to try to get it off. And the guy's like, haha, you can't get it off. And he like twists it and it does come off.
Right. So he's realized his helmet. And he's like, look at this shot here.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta rip his head off.
So he takes his helmet off because it really just is. There's a dude wearing sunglasses, and he takes it off, and it's just like he looks like Lex Luthor. He's just a bald dude.
Yeah. He's just a bald dude. You don't really see his face.
There's no name. He's no one special. He's, it's not like, oh my god, it's Dr. So-and-so. Nothing.
I do like this panel here. He calls him, you young fool.
He's like, no, you young fool. So then he like punches him in the face. Goo Boy punches Bouncy in the face. But I guess this magnetic stuff kind of has a mind of its own, and without the helmet, Goo Boy can't control it. And it suffocates him. Yeah. It just jumps up over his head and it suffocates him, and he's dead. This guy's dead. Speedball's like, and then he just leaves. Yeah.
Speedball.
He's like, that's what I do. I'm a speedball. I kill people.
So he rips off this guy's helmet. This guy suffocates like Baron Zemo. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, I shouldn't. He's like, oh man, I killed this guy. He's like, you know what? He would have killed other people. So that's good.
And then he goes to see his parents.
I gotta get out of here before I get sick from not killing him harder.
He's like, meh, what's one murder?
So then he gets the papers and he flails back, and then then the cops show up at the. I don't know where they show up exactly.
I don't know, because he goes to hang out with his parents, and his parents are like, hey, and he's like, hey, Mom and Dad, I just murdered, and they're like, oh, good boy, son, and like. Then the cops come up.
Mom, I just killed this person. They're like, oh, God.
And I don't know why. Like, the cops come to his house just to be like, hey, kid, be good. Or whatever. They like just.
I don't know if they come to his house.
But they also look like clones. They're kind of creepy.
That's true. No, I think they go back. He goes back to the school.
Oh.
Or to the lab, because he's got these papers. And he's like, all right, I got these papers. And I'm gonna like get
There's cops here already.
The cops show up, and the cops are like, interesting. This guy is always around when people are getting murdered.
Huh.
And they're like, and he's like, and then one cop says that, the other cop's like, fucking chill out, dude.
Yeah.
It's not child murder. This isn't something about Kevin.
We need to talk about Kevin?
Oh. So, he's like thinking, he's like, shut the fuck up.
He's like, it is. He's like, I was born bad and then I murdered a bunch of people.
So then his parents are like, oh man,
that's what that book's about.
Yeah. His parents are like, oh man, we We feel glad that you didn't get murdered at the murder laboratory.
Can I also say that this is like a very weird book because it's written in the 80s, like 1989.
But it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't. It feels like the 60s.
You can see this later, too.
Yeah. Especially with like the family and everybody's wearing a tie and mom's got this like nice hair. And it really does feel like a 1960s comic book.
Robbie Baldwin looks like fucking Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yeah.
But his family's like, yeah, so they're like, oh, you should do something fun this evening. And then the father's like, well, that'd be great as long as we don't watch Ford films. You know,
okay.
Apparently that's his wife's idea. Apparently his parents hate each other and they divorce.
I don't know, but they're always smiling at each other, but then they're like, they're fighting, but then they're always like, hee. I'm like,
there's a lot of boiling hatred.
I don't know. I think it's a sex game.
And he's like, then he sees this cat. Gerald's game. I was like,
yeah, it might be Gerald's game. I don't know what these two are doing.
Gerald's game in the Marvel universe. All right. But he's like,
he sees the cat and he's like, Niles. And the cat's like, nope. And the cat just like ends up on a roof.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
Because the cat apparently is can just bounce up on the roof.
Yeah, he's like, fuck you.
He is special too. So, we're not done.
No, and I just skimmed this one. I'm not going to lie.
Well, this one's pretty wild too. And this is also a Steve Ditko joint. This is where he takes on how will Speedball deal with the savage graffiti gorillas? Guerrilla,
yeah, warfare.
And so these guys are fucking bunch of.
I can't even explain these. They just look like dudes who came back from Vietnam.
I think they are. I think this is like PTSD.
Yeah, and then instead of like, I don't know, trying to get a job, they just decided to like graffiti a town.
This is a much lighthearted version of First Blood.
Sure.
This is what John Rambo was gonna do if Brian Dennehy didn't fucking pick him up.
Yeah. This was Rambo's fate.
This is Rambo,
and he was better off being Rambo.
Had he done this, we would have just had. He would have been like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna paint this statue, and then they would be like, hey man, don't do that. And then we wouldn't have had any Rambo movies.
No. But this is, again, another really good example of this book not feeling like it was written in the 80s.
No. Well, this is Steve Ditko. I mean,
it feels like it was written in the 60s because like, oh no, graffiti, that's bad. And you're like, okay, bro, calm down, right?
Well, okay, so basically these guys are out there and they're spraying graffiti and like, I mean, they're just... Apparently there's a bunch of loose art in a field or whatever, some park, and they're just
breaking it and spraying it with graffiti, and I don't know.
Because there's...
Also, the paint that they're using doesn't look like paint. It really just looks like tomato sauce.
That does look like tomato sauce, yes.
It's like this guy's like, haha, graffiti, but it just looks like he dumped ketchup on this statue.
Meat some balls, huh? So
he's like, I got this from Grandma's kitchen. Dump.
Yeah, I didn't have any paint, so I just got some canned tomato paste.
Hey, Ma, I gotta use this.
Hey, Ma,
you got any leftover gravy?
Yeah.
Take it outside.
Hey, Ma, you making gravy tonight? You making gravy tomorrow? I'm gonna use this. Yeah, don't ask me what I'm doing.
No self-respecting Italian would ever dump good fucking a sauce on a statue.
Oh man, too bad this show didn't end with this guy going home. It's like, you used my gravy, I'm just happy. Slap.
No self-respecting Italian would ever do that. You don't waste good sauce.
I like it. There's one of these guys' name's Giuseppe.
Sure, why not?
Okay, so here's what I want to understand here. So these guys are fucking wreaking havoc.
Also, they all look 40.
Yeah. Well, this ain't Nam.
Yeah.
You know. So they're one guy. I mean, they're wrecking this park, right? Mm-hmm. So this cop over here,
who doesn't have any eyes.
Well, he doesn't have any eyes. But I don't know what he's doing here. I think he's beating up on some hobos. Because he's like, beat it, you bums, and like apparently there's a bunch of bums. He was just having a bum battle, and then
maybe
he's like,
because he has no eyes, he doesn't realize what's happening.
Officer, I was just sitting here eating my sandwich. You bum, get away!
It's like, oh my god, it's Bird Box. He's just flailing.
Oh man, Bird Box universe. All right,
yeah.
Bird Box universe and Black Hole Sun exist in the same universe.
I am watching that like right now. I'm in the middle of it. It's really stupid so far.
Yeah.
John Malkovich is just like,
Is this John
Do not
Malkovich?
let people in. No. Yeah, sure.
My memoirs. I read my memoirs.
B.D. Wong's in it.
Ooh, B.D. Wong.
Yeah.
Is this also a Batman crossover? Is he Doctor Strange?
Oh my god, that would have been
Or B.D.
amazing.
Strange?
Actually, that would have made this movie so much better.
Hello, I'm B.D. Wong. I created some monsters to fight the Bird Box demons.
That probably would have been awesome.
Actually, shit, that would be great. It's also hatched some dinosaurs.
And Steve Wayne.
Steve Wayne's on the loose in Bird Box land. Oh man, yeah. Don't let us.
I feel like John Malkovich is like a Pez dispenser.
Wait, what?
Like, I always feel like his head's just gonna swing back. Just, you know what I mean? Like, he looks like he has a hinge.
I've never.
He just has he's kind of like has a Gary Busey mouth that's just big.
Oh, just lots of teeth.
Yeah, there's just so much of it. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like one day his whole head is just gonna hinge back.
Listener, people that make Pez dispensers, I know you still make these.
Maybe a John Malkovich. That's terrifying.
Let's make a John Malkovich. Let's make a Gary Busey.
Yeah.
I want a Gary Busey Pez dispenser. I want to walk into.
You want to put Pez in Gary Busey and just be like, and then like eat it out of him?
Like, my endocrine system. Whatever he says.
So Eyeless Cop is
beating up on these hobos, and he's like, "Oh, look, Rambo and friends are beating up, are trashing everything."
Oh no!
And the cop shows up, and he's like, "Yo, what's going on?" And apparently, they just chased some woman.
Well, that's what's his name's mom?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, wait. Are we sure?
Yeah, because she looks exactly the same as.
I don't think it's her.
Oh, it's not.
I think it's just some woman.
Oh, there's a lady at the end in the pink jacket. That's why I thought it was her.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe it'll be a surprise reveal.
So she's there. She falls.
Did you read this panel here?
No, but look at that guy's crazy.
So he turns.
Look at how crazy
the
that
eyeless
man.
cop turns into like Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah, 100%. Let me show you something.
I took a picture of this and I posted it. He says, "Well, why don't you worry?" Oh, he goes, "Well, don't you worry. Those little terrorists won't get away with this. Sooner or later, I'll catch them, and when I do, they're going to learn what terror is really like."
And he rips
and
off.
He's literally shaking his fist. You can see little shake lines.
Yeah, he rips off his uniform. He's got a Punisher skull. He's like, "This is how this shit goes."
Fire Marshal Punisher.
Taking the law in my own hands.
So Speedball goes to school. He's wearing an ugly ass shirt.
He literally looks like Fred from Scooby-Doo.
But that's a ascot that's built into the shirt, I think.
But he still looks like Fred.
Oh, he still does. Yeah, that's a white and purple shirt, and it's
he looks like Fred.
And you're right because then you see him like. Because basically he's like, this teacher's like, "Oh man, Robbie, you're distracted." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm all full of fucking energy and shit."
It's like, I gotta go bounce.
And then
literally
a little bounce, and then he walks by some girls who apparently were born in 1930.
Yeah, because it's 1989, and they're all in skirts. They're all knee-length skirts. Their hair, I mean, like, literally, this could have been a Superboy comic.
This feels like a Superboy comic.
It really does.
You know what? This feels like a Superboy comic, like right here. Like, these chicks look like you got fucking Rizzo.
Yeah.
And the pink ladies are here.
Yeah. The pink ladies are 100% here. Frenchie did all their hair.
This is Grease 3.
Yes.
This is Grease 3 with Ricky Schroeder. And also,
I mean, like, look at their clothes. It doesn't even make sense. All the older men are wearing suits.
Well, I mean, you wear a suit if you're a teacher, don't you?
No, I mean, just like any older man who's not like a bad person is like in a suit. Like his dad's in a suit later.
Here's the thing, because Ditko, for some reason, when he draws, they don't color in people's pupils right.
Yeah, and it looks
I think
fucking
that's why it's
weird.
fucked up. That's just a style. And so basically, they introduce Robbie to some girls, and he's like, they're like, "Hey, we should play some volleyball." And he's like, "I shouldn't because I'm like full of fucking, I'm like a fucking monster now.
I'm a ball.
I'm a Stretch Armstrong bouncy monster and monster.
I'm a speedball. Everybody
Monster.
wants to do me, but it will be murdering."
Yeah, you don't want to snort me. So he goes home, and his parents are fighting. His mom's like, "Yeah, those vandals got the right idea."
Sure.
Apparently.
Why not?
You know, PTSD should go hand in hand with graffiti. And the father's like, "No, fuck that." And they're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And this picture here is kind of like what really bothers me about this art, which I know Steve Ditko is fantastic. and he's done a lot of great things, but this is just a weird panel.
Well, like the father looks like he has a problem with like his eyes.
The father looks like he's fucking like
he's
crazy.
Well, he looks like he's like staring into the like
giant fist.
He literally looks like he's staring into the future. He's like, he's like, I see it coming, and like in the background is fucking Robbie, and he's like, with like a hand on his head, and
looks like he's singing into a microphone.
Yeah,
like
I realize it's a soda, but
yeah, and he's like, this sucks. I gotta go to like the I gotta go to like the school. I gotta go to the library. It's 10 o'clock at night. I have to go to the library.
I just have to not be here. Yeah. Basically, because my parents are fighting, whatever. And he goes to the library, and he breaks into it for some reason.
Well, what he wants to do is he wants to go into the gym and practice his bouncing.
Oh, I see.
So he's like, well, no, since it's fucking 11 o'clock at night,
yeah,
I'm going to go bounce around in this gym.
Yeah.
And so he sneaks in, and as he's about to...
Well, as he's doing that, the graffiti guys are like, let's break into the school.
These graffiti guys are coming in.
Because that doesn't make sense. You do graffiti outside. But whatever.
Well, they want to fuck everything up. There's like, we fucked up that park with all those free floating statues.
Yeah.
Let's break into this school because, fuck school.
Yeah.
So they jump into the school, and, as he's doing that, Speedball, he starts doing some Speedball stuff. There's one part where they went in the hallway, and they just grabbed a bunch of books from somewhere and just started throwing them around.
They're like, fuck books.
There's a lot of swearing in this. Did you see this?
Huh.
Because one guy's like, algebra. I hated fucking algebra.
Yeah, there's like little stars. It
goes
planet, star.
It goes Saturn, star, at symbol, lightning bolt.
Yeah. Like, he can't control himself or something, and he ends up like bouncing into the hallway.
Yeah.
Because he says, look out.
He bounces into the hallway, and he
just sort of like... all these guys, he just kind of like starts fighting these guys because he's bouncing onto them.
Yeah, and he realizes it's these gorillas, and these gorillas.
This is 2 solid pages of him bouncing on people.
Right. I just noticed too that these guys have like
they have jackets.
Custom jackets. I will bird with my custom jacket on. Los Jaquitos.
Yeah, they're this is the Sons of Anarchy.
Oh man!
If they decided to like do graffiti instead of ride bikes.
Connecticut chapter of Sandcrow.
Yeah, someone here is gathering.
Which one's Opie? Which one's Piney? Just walking around with a fucking tank.
But so he flails, like literally 2 whole pages of him just flailing into dudes.
Yeah, he flails around because they're like, "Oh, we got to beat this guy up now." And
he's like, "No, flail, boing, boing, boing."
Yeah,
boing.
they try to pin him down.
Do you think he makes that noise? Do you think he boings?
I think it just goes bop, 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 bop.
Like if you throw a ball.
Yeah,
bop, bop, yeah.
Bop, bop. So, and then the
crazy cop.
Is this the crazy cop from the beginning?
I don't know, maybe.
Man, so they show up.
Well, let's say yes.
Okay, he shows up, and he's still pounding on these guys with his kinetic energy.
This is the part, like, if you go back to this one panel, like, he has no control over his bouncy.
He's trying.
I know he's trying, but he's just like, flail. Like, he has no ability to control this whatsoever.
Right. No, yeah, he doesn't.
Because he's, like, bouncing on this guy with, like, his back, and he just looks like he fell off a cliff.
If I were these guys, I don't know why you're still standing there if this guy's fucking spazzing around. Just run out.
Yeah.
If you're in the gym or whatever, just run out of the window or just get
there's
out.
other places.
There's other places, it's like you live to graffiti another day. So so Speedball somehow makes an exit, and the cops show up, and the cops are in the graffiti gang's like, oh man, Speedball fucking bounced on our heads, and they're like, yeah, where is he? And then Speedball. And the way that they frame this makes it sound like he's listening into something
that he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And I still don't know if that's for certain or not.
I don't know.
Because he's sitting there.
It's so hard to tell.
He's sitting there and he's like, "Oh man, I got to practice. I got to change back." And just as he hears somebody saying, "Ah, I gotcha," and then it's that cop. The cop's like, "I found all their fucking bottles and shit, and I'm gonna like take them."
Yeah.
And I got their fingerprints. And he's like, "Oh man, good." And then he goes back home. Speedball goes back home, and the father's like, yeah, they caught those guys, and whatever, the Marvel might have been there. And then what's her face?
The mom.
The mom is like, oh, I'm glad they got arrested. And she's like, and the father's just like, what? You're not going to do a fucking GoFundMe for them?
Well, she's like, and I know that art, like, is not the same as graffiti. I'm like, well, that's not necessarily true, lady, but okay.
And then Speedball goes all Black Hole Sun.
Well, that's what I mean. His eyes get all huge. He's all creepy battle angel.
Yeah, and then he just goes to school and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to that chick I blew off yesterday.
He's like, hi, chick.
And
like Jimmy Olsen's right there.
Jimmy Olsen is like, fuck that shit. Hey, man.
I'm here. It's me, Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen making a surprise appearance. He's like, oh shit, Jimmy Olsen, and then that's it. That's how this ends.
And then we have a little thing. I think we want to talk about Leaper Logan next issue. Yeah, From here, it looks like Leper Logan, but
you could make that mistake. Yes,
which that would be horrible. Leprosy is a terrible disease.
Well, if he bounces into him and the body part falls off.
Well, I mean, technically, that podcast will kill you. This podcast, they sure did. They talked about leprosy. Do you know that the only other animal that has leprosy is armadillos? It's a well of leprosy. That's where it lives in armadillos as well, because their body temperature is cooler than that of other animals. That's the same reason that it goes to humans. Our body temperature is lower.
Oh, man. That makes me think I would hate to be...
But it's curable.
If I was in the BoJack universe, I would hate to be an armadillo.
It doesn't mean you have leprosy. It's just that's the other animal that gets it.
How do you get leprosy?
It is transmitted... I don't think it's transmitted through air. I don't remember how you get it.
Transmitted through air?
No, I don't think it is. Oh. But it's super rare and it's super slow going. So, like, you could get leprosy and, like, not show symptoms for, like, 20 years. Because it takes that long for it to, like, reproduce. It's very slow. It reproduces, like, every 13 days, which is, like, crazy.
Oh, shit, do I have leprosy?
No, you're fine. Leprosy is very rare.
Well, yeah, but...
And curable.
Okay, but how do you know if you don't have...
I mean, there's a blood test. But, I mean, really the thing that happens is, like, you lose feeling in, like, your fingers and stuff.
Okay.
In your extremities. So you don't realize when you get hurt, which is why you get those sores and then they don't heal. That's what it does. No. But it is curable.
Okay, good.
Don't worry about it.
One leprosy antidote, please.
Yes. So I just wanted to say that I have Twitter up.
Ooh.
Matt Oswald says, my 2019 resolution is to get Ray Liotta to start smoking again.
We just watched one of those commercials recently.
Well, was it before the movie?
Oh, that's right, the beginning of the movie.
It's before the movie.
Speaking of
Ray Liotta doing chanting.
Well, speaking of fucking Welcome to Marwin, you know, I mean, that guy's face.
Wow, yeah. I always feel like Ray Liotta looks like he's wearing a lot of eyeliner, and I'm not just sure if he just has a lot of eyelashes or they put too much on him all the time.
I think that's his gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Leota. So, by the way, Matt Oswalt, VA?
Yes.
Matt Oswalt, fucking hilarious.
Really funny guy.
Just real quick, if you've never watched, check it out. There's a comedy sketch thing that he used to do called Puddin', Puddin.
Mm-hmm.
It was...
Him and Eddie
Pepitone. I can't really explain it because
they're so short too. They were only like 10, 15 seconds sometimes.
But there is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in those. So if you ever get a chance to check those out on YouTube, do yourself a favor and do that.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt's brother.
Yeah, very funny guy.
Very funny guy. But yeah, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. I thought you would like it.
He's very good on Twitter too.
He's very funny.
And he follows me.
Oh man.
For some reason he said, because I've met him and I was like. He's like, oh, yeah, I follow you on Twitter. And I was like, oh, yeah, how's that? And he's like, oh, yeah, you just like talk about wrestling and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Is he a wrestling guy?
Apparently he's like he mentioned that he's kind of like an old school, like NWA.
Fair.
Because he grew up in Virginia.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where all that stuff was. And I've always, he's really funny. So Speedball fights a leper next issue. Did you want to read the next issue of this?
No. You'd think this would be like a book that I'd really like because it does feel like a throwback.
Yeah.
But there's something off about it. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. It's something about, it sucks because I should really be into Steve Ditko's work.
Yeah.
And I love the Creeper.
Yeah.
He created the Creeper, but this doesn't, and like we've also had, we've done Shade. I like Shade.
Yes.
We've done fucking Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
He did that too.
Yeah.
And, that was weird. I don't know. It just doesn't, it doesn't do it. I mean, Speedball, the New Warriors in general, I've never really, read it's kind of like, I don't know. They don't really fill something for me,
Mm-hmm.
There's something I should read, it's a cool young team. Just there's some cool characters on there, but it doesn't really do much for me. Although I do like Justice, Marvel Boy, Vance Astro, whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of that. So I might read the rest. You know what? No. I don't need this.
No.
I don't need to track down the other 10 issues of this.
Yeah, no. Please don't.
Please don't, she says. Okay. Well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. And email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com. So I hear, just quick weird plug, there was a romance novel published by somebody named Jennifer DeAngelis.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, she sounds cool.
Yeah.
She likes cats and comics and stuff. I hear she's cool. Maybe you should read her book. It's called The Key to Cabin 9. Anyway, it's on Amazon, $2.99. That's all.
Oh. I hear she won't read the next issue of Speedball.
Yeah, she probably doesn't like Speedball.
No,
I'm just going to guess.
I don't think it's right. But also, please rate, review, subscribe on wherever you get this podcast, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars, however you want to do it. So, thanks again for listening, folks. Hope you're enjoying your start of the new year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And
safe and Happy New Year.
Yes, please be safe. Please be healthy. And please enjoy yourself. So, thanks again for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.